Hi, I'm Sean the Modern Yeoman, and I wonder, do you ever feel discouraged, pessimistic, crestfallen? I could keep reaching for adjectives here, but my question remains the same. Do you ever get the blues? Well, I can tell you that there are certainly days here in the homestead where I get discouraged, where my plans don't go the way I think they should, and I'm forced to reconsider my approach. Recently, a pretty important piece of infrastructure here in the homestead essentially died on us, and to say that I'm a bit sour about this would be an understatement. However, as bummed as I am about the news, I understand that there's a silver lining lurking at the back of it, and it's this. Anytime a weakness is exposed on the homestead, that's an opportunity for me to strengthen that weakness. What I see as misfortune today might be the commencement of a lot more resilience tomorrow. Might be reason for optimism. Anyways, I'll get into that news along with some other things in today's update episode. As with all update episodes, you know what to do. Grab your favorite hot beverage, slip on a sturdy pair of boots, and let's go take a walk. So my first update is actually really good news. My raised bed project is coming along much faster and easier than I thought it would. I was able to source and cut all the wood that I need for 12 or maybe 13 boxes from my salvage wood pile here in the barn. And even though none of the wood is perfect, some pieces are warped, some pieces are waterlogged, some pieces have holes in them, a box is a box, and a free box is the best kind of all. As you can see, I've already finished 3 of the raised beds. These are the 3 12-foot long beds that we're going to be using to put our greens in, and place them down here to kind of get a visual to see what they look like. Now don't worry about all this grass. I did order a silage tarp and it's on its way, so this grass will soon be a thing of the past. But still, it's good to see them here in place. As of right now, I still have 9 or 10 beds left to make. And in fact, I kind of want to make one right now. Who's up for a time lapse? So there you go, my friends. 1 more raised bed down and 8 or 9 left to go. Speaking of salvage lumber, that actually leads me to update number 2. I've been spending quite a bit more time up here in the hayloft, and I was able to install the rest of my kind of DIY rebar lumber rack bracket system. All in all, I've got maybe 14 individual brackets placed inside of the beams up here in the hayloft, and they're doing a pretty good job of holding all of that lumber that I had just kind of sitting out in the north lean-to. A lot of folks had left comments expressing concern that lumber would start to bow and warp the longer it leaned up against the wall, and I agreed with them. So I wanted to get this lumber flat and in a location under a roof as soon as possible, and so I'm really happy to say that I've started to do that now. One other thing that I've been able to do is I found this little door handle in the midst of all the lumber salvage, and I installed it, or tried to install it, here in this little staircase here. Let me tell you, boys and girls, please drill a pilot hole before you put anything into a wall, even if you don't think that you need to. This little handle gave me quite a bit of trouble. Either way, it's on now and it's pretty solid. I've been spending quite a bit of time up here in the hayloft, and I gotta say, it's a really enjoyable place to be. A quiet place in a very loud world. I've often referred to this hayloft a couple of times to my family as my office. Where's Sean at? Oh, he's probably in his office. Anyways, it's quiet up here. It's out of the reach of any sort of internet reception. It's just me and the dust and the hay and the lumber, and I gotta say, it's a really nice place to come to. So my last update is the bad news. After a couple months of spotty performance and a couple $100 worth of repairs, it appears that the riding lawnmower, the Troy-built pony, has finally died on us, given up the ghost. Now, at this point, you may just ask, are you sure that it's dead, Sean? Maybe it's just some minor repair that you missed. Well, maybe that's true, but I certainly did give a lot of repairs to this unit. Just off the top of my head, I replaced the battery, I gave it a new fuel filter, I gave it a new solenoid, I replaced the spark plug, I replaced the air filter, I gave it an oil change. Heck, we even tried jump starting the battery with our car. That didn't even get the thing to start. Now, you may hear all this and say, well, it's not that big of a deal, it's just a mower. Well, it's more than just a mower to us here on the homestead. If you've watched any of the old videos, then you've seen me using it for a variety of different things. Most notably, hauling stuff with our cart over here. Thankfully, that cart can just be used as a regular wheelbarrow. And of course, actually mowing the lawn, getting the pasture clear. Now that it's dead, I have a question that I need to ask myself. Do I want to continue trying to repair it, throwing more money at it? Maybe it needs a new starter, a new carburetor, I don't know. Do I want to haul it off to a place to get repaired? Or do I just want to spend the money on a brand new unit, something fresh, something that I can baby from day one and take really good care of? After talking about it with Holly, I think we're at the point now where we just want to get something new and start over fresh with a new mower. So am I disappointed that our homestead's main work vehicle went kaput and we need to spend money on something new? Kind of, but honestly the way I'm looking at it now is a chance to strengthen a weak spot in our homestead's ecosystem. I think this could be applied to life in general. If something bad happens, I could sit there and stew about it, or I can do something about it. Anyways, until next time, remember that even though something might happen today to discourage you, maybe it'll make you stronger for tomorrow.